It's not. Sorry.
So we are. We're live and recording.
Everyone, my name is Barry Schonbarm, Chair of the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency Finance Committee. We've formed here today with John Maxwell, Stahlback, myself. First order of business, as it is always, I'd ask for a motion to waive the reading of the minutes from the previous meeting and to accept them as presented. So move.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right.
Should we do that over? Would you mind?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome everyone to the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency meeting, Finance Committee. My name is Darian Schonbar, Chair of the committee, and we have a forum here today with John Maxwell, Liz Stahlback, and myself. The first order of business, as always, is I ask for a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and accept them as presented. So moved.
I'll second.
All right, any changes, additions, deletions? All right, all in favor? Aye. Next, reported Chief Financial Officer.
Or recording, that's the most important part. Thank you, Chair. I'd ask the members to direct your attention to pages 6 and 7 for an abridged view of the financial position. This is not quarterly view, so not the full blown out schedule, but we will discuss some summary points. And again, the cash position and detailed schedules are available for review. The April 26th financial report for the City of Albany IDA reflects a continued strong unrestricted cash position despite several significant one-time expenditures during the first 4 months. Beginning the year with approximately 5.31 million in unrestricted, the agency closed April with an ending balance of approximately 4.77 million. Largely attributable again to the aforementioned anomalous expenses and scheduled management contract payments incurred during the first quarter. Year-to-date revenues are approximately 159,000 through April. Fee remained modest during the first 4 months, generating approximately 10,000 from application and admin fees associated with several active development projects. Additional revenue included a $100,000 community development fee and approximately $49,000 in interest income, reflecting continued increased interest during these unreserved balances. Year-to-date expenditures approximately 706,000 through April. The largest recurring expense was the management contract, totaling approximately 357,000 year-to-date. The agency also incurred approximately, again, 282,000 in legal expenses, representing the single largest expenditure during the reporting period. Additional costs include consulting fees, audit expenses, sublease obligations, and miscellaneous operating. The accompanying fee detail schedule highlights continued project activity and a strong projected pipeline for the remainder of 26. Through April, the agency collected approximately 14,000 in fees. Looking ahead, the projected fee schedule anticipates several substantial agency fee transactions later in 26. Approximately 415,000 in June, 205,000 in September, and 656,000 in November. Collectively, the projected fee schedule estimates approximately 1.2 million in total fee revenue for 26, indicating strong development pipeline and continued transaction activity anticipated throughout the balance of the year. Comments, concerns, questions?
Nope. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Let's move on. We're gonna go out of order here. Start with new business, 120 Madison.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Olivia and I are gonna kind of split the deck here, but she is gonna lead off.
Thanks, Andy. So 120 Madison Ave LLC, this project was introduced at last month's Finance Committee. The applicant, 120 Madison Ave LLC, is owned by Joaquin Hoke. He's with us today, located at 120 Madison Avenue in Albany. The project involves the redevelopment of the vacant former Prince Hall Masons building into a mixed-use residential commercial building. The renovation will convert the upper floors into 11 residential units with approximately 3,000 square feet of ground floor commercial retail space. So I'll just walk us through the project summary here, which the materials for this project start at page 107 in your packets. So status quo taxes are estimated at $490,939. Projected pilot payments are anticipated to be approximately $394,177, which does result in a net loss of $96,762. I will note that the current assessed value of this project is $641,000. We would expect generally that it would have been reduced to the sale price, which is $365,000. So that sort of explains that net loss, as well as the net benefit of having over 10 residential units added to downtown and the stabilization and reuse of a long vacant building.
And just if I could interject as well, as Jackie would probably attest to, the continued state of this building would more than likely result in a continued depressed assessed value year over year. Jackie, I don't want to speak for you, but I know you've been having, you know, the typical difficulties we see with vacant properties of, you know, keeping it safe, keeping people from accessing the building that shouldn't, and the subsequent damage that comes with those breaches. So, you know, we would, while this is a net negative benefit of about $4,200 a year over the 18-year pilot, we would expect to see that property value continue to decrease, unfortunately, as time goes by.
Thanks.
Sorry, Olivia, thank you.
No worries. And in terms of the property value increase, like I said, it's currently valued at $641,000. For the city assessor, the anticipated future value is $855,000 for a net increase of $214,000. The estimated total investment is approximately $4.7 million. And I will just walk us through the framework for this project, which should be on the page following the summary. Just to note, the project evaluation and assistance framework is currently offline, so this is being analyzed outside the framework. This is for comparative purposes, but I'll walk us through this now. The project would receive 1 point for being in a distressed census tract, 1 point for being in downtown, 1 point for being in a bid, and 1 point for being in a neighborhood plan, which would be impact downtown and the CAP initiative plan. Under identified priority, it would receive 1 point for being downtown residential project, 1 point for being currently tax exempt / vacant, and 1 point for historic preservation. It's located within the locally and nationally designated mansion district, and it is also seeking historic tax credits as well. Under identified growth area, it would receive 1 point for conversion to residential. For job creation, 1 point for the estimated 3 full-time jobs created associated with the commercial spaces, and 1 point for the estimated 20 construction jobs. For financial commitment, it would receive 1 point for the $4.7 million investment for a total of 11 points. In terms of the assistance being sought, the applicant is seeking a pilot which deviates from our framework. We did complete a cost benefit analysis and determined that the requested pilot was reasonable. We also solicited a in-plan economic impact analysis from CDRPC, which is included in this summary. For the temporary impact of construction, the direct, indirect, and induced effect comes to a total of approximately 4.3 million, and the permanent operations impact approximately 254,000. The estimated value of the tax exemptions. Sorry, I lost my place for a second there. Is total of 240,000 for sales tax exemption, 18,000 for mortgage recording tax exemption, and 60,664 for real property tax exemption. So we did distribute the pro forma prior to the meeting. If you would like to go into an executive session to discuss that in more detail, we could do that now.
Does anybody feel the need to do that?
I'm good.
So,
And Jackie, could you just speak to, kind of the patchwork of, financing that you put together for this project? I think it speaks to the really overall support that the community has for this project.
Yeah, so, again, thank you for the opportunity to speak and present this project to you all. So I'm also here with Walter Porter, my COO. And so, so basically, in a nutshell, we received the tax credits. We've also, secured Berkshire Bank or Beacon Bank as our investor, as well as our restorative work grant, which goes to both properties. So there's some discounts in there. And then we also, discounted the grant, for tax purposes, because we're gonna have exposure. And then we also have our construction and permanent, we capital bank. And then that's pretty much our stack here. And so, you know, again, this is a very extensive project, and I mean, it's full of asbestos and there's a bunch of stuff still in the building. And so, You know, I know our price per square foot is probably higher than most, but at the end of the day, this building needs the work, it needs the investment, all new roof, so all new everything inside the building, we have a brand new building. And so with that, you know, our costs are high, and that's why we had to package up the capital stack the way we do.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, any other things to discuss? Here's what I add. The positive recommendation from the board.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Okay, everybody.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
time. Thank you. All right, so move on to unfinished business. Columbia Street,
Yes.
okay,
Okay,
do it.
I will lead off with that one. Thank you, Darius. So 45 Columbia Street Association LLC, this project was the subject of a public hearing immediately prior to this meeting. No comments were received. The project is located at 43 Columbia Street in Albany, and it involves the conversion of underutilized parking areas in an existing mixed-use apartment building. The project will add 37 units of workforce housing, resulting in a total of 59 residential units and 40 on-site parking spaces. Immediately under that, we see the estimated real property benefit summary. Again, on this one, we do see a net decrease of about 168,000. This decrease in revenue is offset by the addition of over 35 residents to the central business district and the reuse of an existing commercial structure. And as Elizabeth mentioned, in the public hearing, the parking spaces are currently underutilized, so this will repurpose that space back to a productive use for downtown.
And if I could interject as well, not to jump too far ahead, but just to kind of spin off of what Olivia just said, the base assessed value of this project at 2.21 million is really the current taxable value of the property per the existing 485A schedule that this request would supplant if approved. So I just wanted to be clear that the actual taxable value of the property is not being moved as a result of this. It's in line with where it currently is.
Thank you. And on the note of the current value, per the assessor's role, the current value is 3.23 million. Anticipated future value per the city assessor is 4.057 million for a net increase of 826,000. At the end of the pilot period, the project is anticipated to make annual payments of approximately $179,660 based on that 4.057 anticipated future value. Total estimated investment is $7,385,016. And now we'll just step through the matrix scoring sheet. As with the last project, this is for comparative purposes only. The project under target geography would receive 1 point for being downtown, 1 point for being within the bid, and 1 point for being in the neighborhood plan, which is impact downtown as well as the CAP initiative plan. It would receive 1 point for downtown residential, 1 point for historic preservation, and 1 point for conversion to residential. Under retained jobs, you'll see there aren't any points, but there are 0.5 retained jobs associated with this project, as well as an estimated 50 construction jobs. Under financial commitment, the project would receive 1 point for the $7.4 million investment for a total of 8 points. So moving down to the employment impact, we did solicit a in-plan analysis for this project. For the construction impact, it was for the direct, indirect, and induced effects, approximately $172,406. For the estimated value of the tax exemptions, there's approximately $241,048 in sales tax, $106,024 in mortgage recording tax, and $1,038,177 for real property tax exemption. And if the committee would like to discuss the finances in more detail, we could go into an executive session now.
Thank you. Does anybody wish to do so? And that, I see no. Seems to be necessary, but either. I would just say that, you know, we're seeing the decreases in net benefits to the city, but I think, you know, articulated well why it's um, overall, I think necessary for what we need to do here, with the situation with housing downtown and, everything that goes along with it, so, thank you very much. Any other questions, any other point for discussion? All right, then ask for a motion for a positive recommendation for 45 Columbia Street and Associates to full board for approval for next week.
So moved.
I will second.
All those in favor? Aye. Liz?
Thank you.
Aye. Just making sure it's unanimous.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I know.
Next. On to 30 South Pearl. Approving resolutions?
Yeah, pulling up the rear here.
Okay.
A little out of order, so we do have, Sarah Woodward here with us, on a Zoom, who is gonna make a presentation to, the committee. So, we'd like to do that first to respect everybody's time, and then, when we come out, we can go back into the typical project summary rundown. But to do that, we would request entering into an executive session to discuss the finances of 30 South Pearl Property LLC.
So moved.
Second. Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Action was taken.
Curious, I'm sorry, would you just mind saying that again? They're having trouble with the connection to that, but thank you.
Working,
I think so.
Allocate the rain.
all right. We are back out of executive session, motion to, there was no action taken. Do we need the people who gave the motion? No, okay. So we're back in regular session and our next order of business, I think, is to, unless there's any further discussion.
I would like to
Yeah.
run through
Sure.
the project summary for everyone.
Yeah.
So just noting that this project was the subject of a public hearing held prior to this meeting, during which no public comments were received. Also noting that the applicant is here with us today to answer questions. I do want to run through the typical summary. We did just discuss the finances of the project in depth, in an executive session. No action was taken during that session. But the project summary is as follows. The project involves the renovation of an existing 195,000 approximate square foot, 14-story commercial building. Looking to bring back the property to Class A office standards. Over 50% of the net rentable space in this property is vacant. The project will rely on in part attracting tenants from 54 State Street, in addition to attracting new tenants as well to downtown. The property also includes a courtyard, 25 parking spaces and approximately 4,000 square foot vacant restaurant space, which the developer is also looking to repurpose and get active. So I want to run through the revenue gain to the taxing jurisdictions and the property value increase, noting both of which have asterisks, and I'm going to read those word for word just so that we're clear on where we stand in terms of the net increase in the property value and the net benefit. Looking at the status quo taxes, should this project not occur and the property is taxed at the current rate moving forward over the course of the 15-year pilot. In comparison to what the pilot will bring into the taxing jurisdictions, there is a negative net benefit of approximately $2.1 million. However, but for this project occurring, we would imagine that the assessed value and the occupancy of this building would both decrease. So the estimated decrease in revenue to the taxing jurisdictions is offset by the following benefits, which is the expected retention of commercial tenants downtown, the retention and creation of approximately 329 full-time equivalent jobs, the refurbishment of an existing commercial structure. It should be noted that, but for this project, there's a high likelihood the property would see increasing vacancy rates, as we just stated, and the value of the property would decrease, ultimately resulting in the property probably struggling to operate while simultaneously servicing debt and paying taxes. Moving on to the anticipated future value, again, there is a slight decrease. As we stated, should this project not occur and the occupancy levels continue to plummet, we would expect to see that value decrease over time. This project is a $60 million investment, and right now we will run through the scoring. Noting that this project was analyzed outside of the project evaluation and assistance framework, nonetheless, trying to do an apples to apples comparison, you can see we'll run through each point, but in totality, this, as the framework previously looked at strategic value of a project, this project is scoring quite high. Target geography, project receives 1 point for being located downtown, 1 point for being located within a business improvement district, and 1 additional point for being located within a neighborhood plan, being impact downtown and also the CAP initiative. Job creation, the project receives 3 cumulative points for creating approximately 105 full-time jobs and receives 5 cumulative points for retaining 249 jobs. For construction jobs, the project receives 1 point for an estimated 80 construction jobs. Financial commitment, the project receives 2 cumulative points for being a $60 million investment for a total of 14 points. As was alluded to and just discussed at length, the requested assistance does fall outside of the bounds of the previous framework guidance provided for. as such, a third-party consultant was brought on board to look at the financial assumptions at hand and also the reasonableness of the requested assistance, both of which were found to be within reasonable parameters. Any questions for staff? Any questions for the applicant?
I have no further. No.
Thank you. Andy, could I just ask you to elaborate for the record on, if the property were to be assessed at the purchase price and go down to that assessment that you had evaluated, you noted that you had evaluated that. And the taxes would actually be higher than.
Correct, so should the, if the, oftentimes a purchase price is used to gauge the assessed value of the property. If the project were reassessed, looking at the purchase price as a value indicator. There would actually be, a net increase in the,
That's
in the benefits to the taxing jurisdictions. So just for the record.
And we noted that, I think, at the last finance
Yeah.
meeting, but I just wanted to say it as many times as possible for the record,
Sure.
that if it went to that purchase price, it would be higher.
Okay.
So make note of it next week too. Thank you.
all right. Any further questions?
No, and for me.
Then I would ask for a motion to make a recommendation for the project to full board for approval.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Just
much. Thank you.
noting, we're gonna run into an agency update, but noting that our board meeting next week is up a day, it's Wednesday. Not the typical Thursday, so we'll beat up to that, before the end of this meeting, we'll probably say it 2 or 3 more times as a reminder.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next order of business agency update.
And for this one, I think we're gonna,
Okay, good.
request an executive session to discuss potential litigation.
All right, motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
All right, we're back.
Just the. Change of date this week.
Okay.
Are we back?
We are back.
Alright. Back to executive session, we ended at 1:25. No action was taken. So we're back in, in our regular meeting, compliance update, unless there's anything else for agency update.
Just once again, reminding everyone that the board meeting will be next Wednesday, not the typical third Thursday. It will be 1 week from today to accommodate staff travel to Cooperstown for the annual meeting of the New York State Economic Development Council.
Compliance update,
No compliance subcommittee.
we're compliant,
We are.
anything else? Motion adjourned,
So moved.
second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.